I wonder, how many of you ever found yourself in a situation where you were just not sure what to do? You not sure what to say, not sure how to get it out, not sure exactly how that other person is going to be able to say back to you what it is that you're going to get response back to, what it is that you're saying to them, and you just feel like you maybe want to just lie a little bit, or you're not 100% sure how to get it done. How many of y'all run into a situation where you just want to say something to someone, you're in reality asking for help from somebody, but you're just not sure exactly the way to just get it done? My name is Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. and I was born July 4th of 1986. And today, I want to talk about something that's just very, very interesting to me, and very interesting in the fact of having a good understanding of knowing who, you know what I'm going to talk about today. You know I'm talking about God again. Having a good understanding of who God is and what he's all about and what he's able to bring to you. And especially when you call on the name of Jesus, his son, that came here to sacrifice himself to make sure that we are able to have a nice, smooth, complete life, to be able to have the presence of God inside of us as long as we pray to him, that he brings something to us. And I feel like there's something that just comes to us that we just cannot refuse, we cannot neglect, we cannot just act as if it's not there. That I'm going to say this, that even if you don't believe him, you got this. And if you believe him, you got it even more. And that's the Spirit inside of you, and that's the Spirit of God inside of you. And the Spirit of God inside of you is something that is absolutely amazing, something that is just so wonderful, to the fact of it's able to get you to do a push of something that you should be doing, and a push away from things that you shouldn't be doing. And I wonder, how many of y'all just feel a little confused sometimes with what it is that you're doing, and where it is that you want to go, and what it is that you want to be able to experience, and not even just that, but what it is to even just be able to say to somebody on a day-to-day basis, where you're kind of in need. You're kind of just needing something to be able to survive, needing something to be able to get by, and needing something to make something happen. That I feel like a situation came to me that I just looked at and I was just like, man, how could I not help you when you come with that much honesty? When someone just straight comes to me and says, I need help with this, man, and this is what I need it for. Well, for me, you know, I don't do that stuff. I don't partake in certain things and certain stimulants and certain things in the world and certain flesh of the world, or I don't do that anymore. But something in me said, it doesn't matter, man. If a person is hurting, if a person is needing, you know the struggle, you know the pain, you know the withdrawal feelings, you know that you can't just snap out of it right away. You know that it takes a little bit to be able to get through it. And for me, inside of me, and just in that time, in that moment, when someone's just asking me, it's like, hey, Mark, I need some help. I'm struggling right now. And I just have no choice but to just say, I appreciate your honesty. And with that honesty comes great rewards for you. Even if it is of something that is going to, say, put you in a not great place, but a place to at least be able to get you by. At least to make it happen for a day again. At least to just up your spirits, to just know that there's a better presence to this world, that there is an awesome reality on this world, that God is 100% real on this planet. And it's something in me that I just feel like, a lot of us, I feel like we run into situations because we're seeking the wrong language. We're speaking the wrong language. We're speaking a language of like trying to deceive, trying to manipulate, trying to hide, trying to just do whatever it takes to just not quite tell the whole truth, but to still try to get your message across, where you run into, I feel like, jams when you do that. And you run into jams where you start to get fumbled with your words. You start to not remember what you used to say, and not remember what you used to do, and not remember what happened before. And I feel like that's the power of the Spirit inside of you when you really start to understand exactly who God is. That God is going to start to be able to push your life forward, and be able to let you know exactly what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and how to get done what you need to get done. That if you start to reject that, that's when you start to go down this path of who knows what. Who knows what's going to happen? Because you as a human being, what is it that you're going to possibly be able to do, possibly be able to get, possibly be able to make happen by yourself out here with having no sort of guidance? Where I'm going to say you're very confused if you're not understanding that God is real. I'm telling you that you are. And if you right now think and say to yourself that, no, I'm good to go, I'm telling you, your life could be way better if you did. Just imagine that if you're already doing pretty good, you're already all right, things are already going pretty smooth for you. Wouldn't you want it a little bit better? I know you do, because you're a human being, and human beings just kind of want to have more and more and more, and have better and better, and just continue to keep growing and growing and growing. We don't usually, for the most people, there's some people that are hurting, that are struggling, that feel so damaged, that feel so destroyed that, yeah, you do just want to end it all. And for a person in that state, I'm telling you, God is 100% going to be able to push you up, to be able to get you out of that, to be able to make sure that you're able to do some things. But for everyone else and anyone else that's kind of just like, say, doing all right, God is going to be able to make sure that you're going to do all right in a better way. In a better way that you're going to be able to help out more people. And helping out more people is, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say, is probably the only thing on this planet that is probably the most fulfilling thing on this planet. Is getting more cars, getting more houses, getting more food, going fancier places, doing fancier trips, all that stuff has an expiration date on it, that you can only do so much of that. You can only go so far with that. But you're going to run into a situation where you're just like, I need something and I'm missing it. And I'm going to tell you that that's something that you're missing is being able to help another person out, is being able to give your time, your resources, your energy into someone else to watch them be able to get to the same place, if not better, than where you currently are. And I feel like that's something that is just the most powerful thing of who God is and what God is all about when he starts to enter into your life and get into your life to be able to let you know exactly who he is and what he's all about and what his main mission is out here with what it is that he's trying to do on this planet. His main mission on this planet is to unite, is to make sure that we good to go, make sure that we are loving each other, make sure that we're helping each other, making sure that we're getting each other into a better place and a better situation so that no one's struggling, that no one's in lack, no one's in frustration, no one's in anger, no one's in a mass amount of rage where they feel like they just have to hurt. And that's the whole concept of who God is. Where I'm going to say that you can clearly tell who's trying to rule and who's trying to run and who's trying to rule in this world based on how the world just seems to look to everybody. Like today, me just watching a little bit of the news again, that's one thing that I do like about going to certain places is I get to watch the news because they always play the news on TVs and I don't ever really get myself around that except for here and there. But it's just crazy to see on the news. It's all the time. It's just always a whole bunch of hate, a whole bunch of drama, a whole bunch of just chaos, just extreme amount of chaos that they're just trying to push and put to everybody. So you can just see exactly who's running this world. And it must be the enemy of God that's running this world, because that is not what God is all about in any way. And if you're following a place and a pastor or a minister or a priest or a father or a whatever, if you're following them and they're trying to convince you and get you to start putting hate and start slandering and start putting damage on other people that don't believe what you believe, I'm telling you, that is not of God at all. God is all about uniting people and bringing people together. That even if you don't like what I like, I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to damage you. I'm just going to just do what I do to hopefully one day you see what I'm doing and you say, huh, that's pretty interesting, fella. How is it that no matter what's going on around you, you keep seeming to keep going forward? How come no matter what sticky situations happen to you, what damaging things happen to you, no matter how much we even try to damage you guys, you just keep pushing forward and keep it's okay, and y'all stay focused and dedicated? That alone is going to make people say, hey, I want to get a part of that. I want to be a part of that, because that right there seems very, very interesting, and that right there looks very, very promising. That is exactly who we are, and it is exactly who God is. That God is that, and God is going to be able to give you the spirit of himself inside of you the more that you want to pray to him and start to ask him and confide into him to be able to upgrade your life and get your ways in a better way. And that's something that is going to be able to give you a sense of accomplishment, a sense of relief, a sense of satisfaction, a sense of joy, a sense of self-control that you just never had before on this planet, because you're going to start to be able to get some feedback, some energy, some understanding that is just clearly out of this world. It's out of this world. That's just so different, because you're going to start doing some stuff that's actually going to be able to put you in a better position on this planet. That a better position, I'm telling you, I feel like a lot of us really just get stuck in the whole concept of just gimme, 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 where I'm going to give you 10, so you give me 100 back. I'm going to give you 5, so you give me 50 back. I'm going to give you 5,000, so you give me 50,000 back. And it's like, that's not the way this world works. What is it that you're going to get that money back for giving that money away? What is it that you're going to get more time for if you gave some of your time away? I mean, that's even worse off. You can't possibly do that. That's not a deal that you could trade off with anything on this planet. That there's no way of trading your time to be able to get some better time in the future. And that's in reality what it is that we sacrifice our resources for, is our time. So that's something that we all should really pay close attention to, is what we do on a day-to-day basis with what we think that we're trying to help out for, to try to be able to say get good graces for yourself. That is just not the way that this planet works. It's just not the way that things work. And once you start to have the spirit inside of you, once you start having God inside of you, you're really going to start understanding that. You're really going to start having a better understanding of knowing that there's certain things on this planet that matter, certain things that don't matter. Certain things to really, really focus and dial in and pay attention to, and certain things to just let go of and just don't even care about anymore. And I feel like a lot of us just run into very, very sticky situations where we're just constantly hearing from other people and hearing from other places that you just do this and everything's going to be great in your life. But yet you keep doing that, and yet your life just isn't getting any better. You keep making all those things, you keep giving to all these places, you keep going to the soup kitchens, you keep doing all this stuff, but yet you just notice that your life still is not getting any better. You're just not getting better in any sort of way. And you feel like you look at someone else and you think that their life is getting better, but they're only just showing you 10 minutes of their real life, when they're standing there talking to you, it's like, everything's good, everything's great. When they're showing these fake smiles on, or showing these fake smiles, making you think that they're good, and then they go home and they're just drinking to the point of being drunk, to be able to black out, to be able to sleep, because they can't deal with themselves and they can't deal with stuff that's around them. That you're living in a false reality. And I feel like when you really start to have the true understanding of who God is and what he really wants us to do and really wants us to be able to move forward with and be able to do on this planet, that you're really going to start to what's a good word? Flourish. You're really going to start to upgrade. You're really going to start to just have a great existence of life on this planet where you just never had such a thing before. And if you already believe in God, I'm telling you that there's some stuff that we can still keep upgrading and escalating to make sure that we just keep getting better and better and better. That you're never just like, oh, I believe in God, I'm good to go. And it's like, hold on a second. If you were, then what's going on here? Because if everything was just so great and it was just you're done and that's complete just because you know him, that's not what it's all about. That's like the start. And then once you get the start of knowing who he is, then he's going to start being able to speak to you and be able to get you to start doing some stuff that is really going to be able to start to upgrade your life, to be able to do some absolutely amazing things on this planet. And that's something that I feel like a lot of us start to neglect in reality, that we feel like we've done enough and that should be good enough. And it's like, I feel like there's not a time that it's ever just done. It's never just good enough. It's never just complete. It's never just finished. It's something that we're just constantly keep on working and getting better with and moving forward with and being able to, in reality, help more people out with. That should be our main mission on a day-to-day basis is figuring out how to be able to help someone else. If we're not doing that, I'm telling you, you're not living in a total, full, happy, satisfied sort of way to be able to stay on this planet. Is if you're just trying to get for yourself and gain all the information for yourself, what fun is that? What greatness is that? What glory is that? And that's something that I feel like a lot of us just don't really pay too much attention to, where we're just constantly just trying to give me and we're not trying to give any. And when I say give any, I'm telling you, it's not the concept of giving your money to someone thinking that that's going to be able to give something back to you to make so you get something back. That's not the concept here. I feel like we get really confused with that. A lot of information out here is really being really skewed with and really just transformed away from the true message of who God is all about. That you're not going to go out there and give a homeless person some food and think that some food is going to come back to you. You're not going to go out there and give the church $1,000 and think that money is going to come back to you. That's not the way it works. You give because it feels good. You give because you're helping someone to be able to get into a better place and a better situation, and that's it. Done, finished, complete. I don't expect nothing back from that. I don't want a single thing back from that. I just want to keep on making sure that that person, those people, everything is going good, that they're growing and that they're cruising. And now I'm just going to keep on living my life and keep on doing what it is that I'm doing and keep going to the next mission. Not sitting there thinking, if I do that for them, then I know for a fact I'll be able to get that car if I help someone with this. That's thinking of the enemy. That's thinking of short term. That's thinking of just self and very extreme selfishness, where you're not actually helping anything except just yourself. You're not actually doing it with good intentions. And I feel like that's the part where a lot of us get jammed up, where great things don't come to us and awesome stuff doesn't happen because we're doing things just for self, and we're doing it very, very, very ruthlessly because we're expecting, and we have these sort of expectations in us. And just like something I was talking about the other day of expectations, we have these sort of expectations in us that are just, I gotta have it all and I need to have it all. And if I do this for you, then you better do that for me. And if I give over here for you, then you better give over here for me. Hey guys, come on over here. Oreo. And if it just keeps going back and forth like that, where it's like you run into a jam, because that's when you're demanding some things that are not yours. They're not yours to have, not yours to be a part of, not yours to be able to just control. And that's because that's God's to be able to control. And that's something that I feel like you try to, when you do that, when you do something expecting something to come back to you, that's where you yourself are basically damning God and saying, you know what, I skip you, I'm God. Because you see, I'm giving, so I should be able to get back. So that's how it works, right? And that's where I feel like you're running into a lot of situations in your life where you're feeling like you're not progressing the way that you really should be progressing. You're not really getting the peace inside of you that you just really are expecting. You're just kind of running into a stumble and a fumbling where you're not sure how to be able to get anything done. You get to a point and then you're just like, I just don't know what's going on. And then you feel like oh, if I just get more, then I get money. You just keep going through that same cycle where you're not actually just cruising and getting to a point that is of absolute greatness on this planet. That you're just continuing to stay in the same place. That you do something one week, and then the next week and bad, and do good one week, and then the next week's bad. And you just keep going through these cycles where it's just like it's super confusing, and you're just never really static. You're never really constantly just like looking back like 5 years ago and saying, hey, I am doing something today. Where it's you look back 5 years and you're kind of like, man, 5 years ago was awesome. Because how many times do people say that to you? How many times all the good old days, the back in the days and the good old days, good times in the back in the days? It's like you used to be doing better then than you're doing now. Why is that? And why do you accept that? And why do you think that that is okay and acceptable? Why do you think that you should be a part of that? And I'm telling you, you can get away from that. You can stop that. You can stop dealing with that with just having more faith and having a good understanding of exactly who God is and how he's going to be able to push you and to be able to get you into a better place and a better situation on this planet. Because the one thing that I'm going to say is the more that you start doing what it is that he's basically asking and requiring of you to do, and to be able to just do what his mission on this planet is, you're really going to start getting better and better at it, that you're not going to have to plan and pre-plan and worry so much about what to say and how to do it and how to get it done. It's just going to come to you. It's just going to flow from you. It's just going to happen in an extremely natural, supernatural type way, where you're no longer going to have to like work so hard to get what it is that you got to do. And a lot of us run into situations where we get so high up in, say, an organization that we're working in, or a factory that we're working in, or some corporate job that we're working in. We get to a point where it's just like kind of, you're not getting any better. You're just doing the same old thing, and the same old thing. And that's something that a lot of us really need to take a good hard look at and just like maybe break away from that, because that's not what it is that we're supposed to be doing on this planet. We're supposed to be getting better and gaining more and being able to do more for more people. That a lot of us, especially in this year, unfortunately in this year, and very, very unfortunately for the next year, there's going to be a lot of price cuts coming out. And price cuts coming out, or I should say wage cuts coming out, and prices raising, where there's going to be a mismatch going on, where a lot of people are going to be very, very thrown off with how to be able to get some stuff done. That the job all these big employers got to do, people, is just say, you know what, we fire you all. And y'all going to start saying, I need to work. And then they can rehire you for half of what they used to pay you. And you're going to say, okay, I'll do it, because you have no other choice. So you got to make very, very careful, be very, very sure that if a situation like that were to happen to you, what is it that's going to happen? Because you worked yourself up to a way in a position that is not of God, that is not of his glory, that's not of his wishes, that's not of his wants. You're doing something for your own self. And when you're trying to do something for your own self, not listening to God, not listening to Spirit, not paying attention to who he is, you're going to start coming into very, very damaging situations. The same way with trying to give to somebody, thinking that something should come back to you. That is just not the way that this works. You give because you give. You give all your time, you give your money, you give your food, you give all your everything, you give someone a place to stay for the night. You do all that because you just want to do it and you want to get it done, and you want to be able to help a person out, and you want to be able to see them succeed, and you want to be able to help them grow. Not because you think that something is going to be able to magically be able to come to you the next week, the next year, the next time, and you're just magically going to upgrade your car because of this, because of that. It's like that is such a horrible way of thinking, that is why I feel like you are feeling stagnant in with what it is that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, where you're feeling like the more that you pray, the more that you read the Bible, the more that you do this, the more that should come to me. And it's like, that's not exactly the way that this works. This works in a way of just being able to make sure that you are able to fulfill what it is that needs to be fulfilled on this planet. And for us to think that we know what that is, that's again, you trying to think that you're a God, knowing how to be able to get stuff done, knowing that you know the best route, knowing that you know the best ways, knowing that you just know everything, that you can get it all done, and you know how to figure it out, and you got the master plan, and if you do this and this, and you be good to go. And it's like, that's where you really, really come into a very, very sticky situation with God, because he says, whoa, man. I'm helping you out. I'm giving you some guidance. I'm bringing some wisdom to you. But now you're trying to push the people as if you're just like the best of the best of the premiums of the premiums, and you don't need me no more, and you can do it all on your own. And I feel like that's something right there that a lot of us run into very, very sticky situations, because we don't really have the whole something in one of my first counseling group things that I did was the beginner's mind. You forgot the beginner's mind. You got to a point where you're just like, I'm good to go. I know it all. I'm fine. I got it all. And you should be able to figure this and figure that and figure that. And you forgot what it was like for you when you were there. You forgot what it was like when you were there, when you were trying to stop drinking, when you were trying to stop smoking, when you were trying to stop having sex with everything out there. You forgot what that feeling was like when you were trying to stop that urge, when you just couldn't stop, when you just couldn't stop touching yourself, and you were just like, you would be fiending for it. You just like, I just need it. You forgot those days because today you're past that. Today you've gotten through that. But when you see someone in that situation and you just look at them like they're just, look at you, you just beneath me, you're just nothing, and you're nobody. It's like you forgot that you were there. You forgot that that was you. You forgot that that's the type of stuff that was going on with you, and that person right there is just a reflection of what you used to be like and what you used to do. And it's going to be a very, very good test to you to see what is you're going to do for that person in that time of need, in that situation that's going on there, to figure out where it is that you're going to be going in the future. And giving to them thinking that you're going to be able to get more back yourself is I'm telling you, the wrong way of looking at it. The right way of looking at it is for you yourself to be able to gain some insight with listening to the Spirit and having a better understanding of knowing yourself and believing in yourself and being able to work with yourself to be able to get yourself into a better place. And then when you're in that better place, then you're able to just give absolutely free. You're freely able to give to people, freely able to give and do for people, and freely able to make stuff happen without having to worry about, I need this because I'm broke. I need that because I'm without. I need this because I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to make it. And feeling like you need to go down that route. Feeling like you need to be, because the biggest thing that we get stuck in this is getting manipulated by people. Hey, Shadow, all done. To be manipulated by people that are constantly like just using us because they know that we need a little bit more. So that they always say to you, hey, if you give me some, then you'll get a little bit more. You need to get completely out of that mindset, because that is not of God. That is not who he is and what he is at all, about what he talks about and what he tries to bring to us and what he provides for us. And that's something that a lot of us really need to take a good hard look at ourselves with what it is that we do and how it is that we're praying and how it is that we're thinking we're going to start obtaining and getting things on this planet, where the way that you're going to be getting things is having a direct source with the Spirit through God and having a communication with him, with just understanding, doing what it is that he's looking for, and knowing that if you just keep doing that, then things are going to start to come to you. Not because of things that you yourself are doing yourself. You cannot do enough for God. He already owns all of this. He already created all of this. He already manifested all of this. Everything is already his. So there's not a possible way that you're going to be able to give him a little bit for him to give you some. No, he's just going to give and give and give and give and give. And then the more that you want to give to other people, guess what? You're going to end up just getting more yourself in a way. But the concept behind that is not thinking in your brain that if I give, then I'll get. No, it's allow God to be able to make that move for you. Allow him to be able to make that push for you. Allow him to be able to do that push for you. Not for you to do that push on your own. Because when you try to do that push on your own, you're just sabotaging yourself. You're slowing yourself down. You're slowing yourself down in a way that is just, it's not going to be pretty for you. You're just going to be frustrated. You're going to feel in lack. You're going to feel a little thrown off with, depressed is a good way of looking at it, because you feel like you're not getting enough. You're like, I've been giving so much, but yet I'm just not getting anything. And trust me, I know that feeling. Giving to someone and giving to someone and giving to someone, and then looking at your bank account like, man, I've been giving you money and I just not getting anything back from this at all. Not even a feel goods, not even a thank you, not even a thank you, not even a nothing. That a lot of us go to a lot of these churches that they don't even give you a thank you. They don't even send you a thank you card on your birthday, or even for Christmas, or a lot of people don't do Christmas, but especially your birthday. They don't give you nothing. They don't say nothing to you. They don't give you they don't say anything. They just take the money and they just run off and do what it is that they do. But you in your mind is like, oh, I'm going to get it back because that pastor man said that I'll get it back if I get it. If I give and if I do that. And I'm telling you, that's why you're stagnant. That's why you're not able to continue to keep growing. That's why you're just sitting at an absolute standstill without being able to grow to that next level, because you think that you're in control of what it is that should come to you. Where I'm telling you, let that go and allow God to be able to bring to you what it is that he wants to be able to bring to you. And it's something that is just super powerful. It is something that is just super amazing. That is something that is just super calming and relaxing and fulfilling all at the same time. Where you stop feeling as if you got to do so much to try to get some nice things back for you. Where I'm telling you, that's a hard way to live. It's a very, very hard way to live that way, because you're always going to be anticipating and expecting to run into a situation where someone, say, needs help, that you just give to them, and then all of a sudden, all things are going to be good to go. Now, it's like, no, allow God to just put that person there. Allow God to make sure that you have something for that person when they need that, and allow God to be able to make that happen and make that work, and allow God to just be able to flow through you, just straight through you to everyone around that needs something, that things are going on. When someone says to you and they come up to you and say, I'm behind on rent, I don't know what to do. And allow God to already know, set that person in front of you. Allow God to speak directly through you, the thoughts that come to you. When you look at that person says that to you, and how you're looking at them and everything that's going on at that time, and you look at them and your first thought that comes to you, nah, man, you just behind because of this and this and this. You're going to have something in you, or you get something in you who's going to come to you and say, I know you're certain. I know you're struggling. Let me help you out. You're going to get that. That's the spirit inside of you that you really need to start paying attention to, that you really need to listen to know exactly where to go and what to do and how to be able to make some things happen. That we all get these thoughts. And then the problem is that when we go against those thoughts, when we go against that, then we get, not bad stuff happens to us, but we put it on our own selves because we're just not doing what it is that we said that we should do. We didn't make happen what we want to make happen. We didn't pursue what we want, and that's what really starts to lead to frustration, which really starts to lead to a mass amount of rage because you're just not doing what it is that you want to do. You saw that person in need, or I mean, this is something right here that I'm going to say it straight up, and I don't know how else to say it straight up, but this sounds something that a lot of young men run into a whole lot of sticky situations with. A lot of guys run into a lot of sticky situations with, sorry, I got to slow it down for a second. A lot of guys get into a lot of sticky situations with when they see a girl and they want to talk to her, and they see her, and she smiles at him. He's like, yeah, I'm going to say something. No, I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, I'm going to say something. No, I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, I'm going to say something. No, I'm not going to say anything. You keep going back and forth with that. And then it gets close and close, and then you're walking away. And you're like, dang it, I should have said something. Man, I should have did this. And then you're thinking about it for another hour. I should have said this. I should have said that. And then. And for some people, you get stuck in that for days, weeks, months, years, where you're just like, I should have said this, I should have said that, I should have did this, I should have did that. Then you see the next girl and you're like, okay, the next time I'm not going to do that. The next time I'm going to say this, I'm going to go like this. And each time that you keep doing that with girl after girl after girl, and some people, unfortunately, with the same one, like just move on, people. But the girl at the same, going after, and you just constantly keep not saying something, not doing something. That leads you to being into a mass amount of frustration because then you just feel like you just don't have and you can't be able to get and all the rest of that stuff that is just absolutely madness, where you just drive your own self into insanity. And it's something that a lot of us really need to take a good hard look at ourselves with. Something comes to us that we're thinking, and we just need to get it out there and say it and just see what happens and just figure out where to go from there. Because there's I forgot what that passage is, but it's a very, very nice one, very, very powerful one, where he's talking about just don't worry, or he's talking about when the people prosecute you and put you in jail, don't pre-think, don't worry about what to say. Just when you get there, the Spirit will speak through you to be able to say what it is that you need to say. And that method, I feel like, goes along with a whole lot that we have and a whole lot that we do on this planet, that we run into situations with people where don't try to already think about what you're going to say. Just when you see it, when you see the situation, just say it. Just get it out. Make it happen. And you're going to watch your life get better. That's simple. You're going to watch your life become so much more smoother. That's simple. Without feeling like something should come back to you. Without feeling like something you should just be able to gain more and get more from that. That things are just going to start to become better for you because you're going to start actually being able to do the stuff that has been set up and been put into your place to be able to start doing. That you run into situations because you're rejecting God's plan where He's trying to push you and what He's trying to do for you. You're rejecting it. And you always get this inside of you. You get the feeling, especially us dudes, oh my goodness, I know this 100% fact because I've experienced this and I've seen it through other people and I've done a lot of research and a lot of studying on this, that you know when you meet that female and she's just not the right one. You know it right away. You know it. You see her, she smiles, and you're like, oh, this is cool. And after about 5 seconds of talking, you're already like, You need to listen to that. Instead of listening to your I need feeling inside of you, or she's the only one and the last one and she's willing to talk to me and I should just take it and I need to grab it, that you're destroying yourself. That you have this inside, this intuition, this feeling, this thought, and especially if you know who God is and you trust in Him, you've got the God inside of you to be able to help you, get you, push you, guide you into a better place in this life. And that's something that you really should start paying more and more attention to, because he's going to help you. He's going to help you. He's going to be able to push you and to be able to get you into somewhere that you've just have never been before. He's going to be able to do some things for you that you just have never been able to be a part of before. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is by just actually doing what it is that starts to come to you and not expecting things to come back to you, your own self. Like, if you do, then this will come back to me. No, you do, and then just keep living your life. And then if something does happen, it happens because God lined that up and He made that happen. It wasn't a single action that you could have possibly done to make some things happen for you. There's nothing. There's nothing that you could do extra for God, for Him to be like, okay, now I'll do it. He already owns all of this. He already created all this. What more do you think that He needs from you? He don't need nothing for you. And that's the whole purpose and the concept and the design why Jesus came here, to make sure that we do not have to do that at all. And that's why He makes it so amazing and so powerful for us to be able to have the Spirit inside of us, to be able to move forward and do what it is that we need to do on this planet. That we don't have to worry at all about trying to do anything. We don't have to do no works. We don't have to do no sacrifices. We don't have to go kill no lambs. We don't have to go kill our babies. We don't have to do none of that stuff. All we have to do is just believe in him and have a good understanding of who he is. And then we're going to be able to have a nice open line of communication with him to be able to have some absolutely amazing things on his planet. And he makes it very, very simple the more and more that you start to lean away and get away from the things of the flesh. When you start to get away from the stimulants of the world, when you start to get away from the destructions of the world, when you start to get away from that, you start to find yourself into a whole new different situation of life where you'll watch these things start to come to you and you'll know exactly what to say in the moment, and you'll be able to go basically off your gut feeling is the way that you can look at it, say it, intuition, or the Spirit of the God. We all got different names and different lingos and different things we want to say with that term, but that is just what it is. That's God speaking directly to you, knowing in reality what it is that's going to be work for you, knowing what's going to be right for you, knowing the direction that you should be going. And the direction that we should be going is something that we need to focus more on and stop focusing on the things that we shouldn't be doing. But for some reason today, we just love to focus, but it's not just, say, our fault. We got a lot of media, we got a lot of stuff, we got a lot of things out there that are constantly pushing to us, that are getting shoved to us, that are just telling us all the time, I'll do this, do this, do this, and do this, and if you do this, you're stupid, and if you go over there, you're stupid. And we just got a lot that's being pushed and shoved upon us that we really need to figure out how to be able to just let all that go. Because the more that you start to let all that go, I'm telling you, the greater and greater that your life is going to start getting, because you're not getting mixed signals from everywhere. You're just getting a direct line of signal from God. And when you start to just let go of all the outside chaos, all the outside garbage, all the outside crap, all the outside trash, all the outside drama, you're really going to be able to start to focus and dial in on doing what it is that you need to do. And things are going to start coming to you that you just never thought could be possible. I'm telling you, you're going to start getting ideas of things that you should do. You're going to start getting ideas of where you should go. You're going to start getting concepts of how to be able to get some things done. You're going to start to get the courage inside of you to be able to do some things that you've just never been able to do before. You're going to start to be able to have the know-hows to be able to do some stuff that you just felt like you always wanted to do. You kind of knew you know how to do it, but yet you're out here now, you're doing it. Now you're getting it done. Now you're focused and dialing in and making sure that things are getting complete. When you really start to listen to God and you stop listening to the outside stuff that's going on out there, when you really just start to dial in and have a good understanding of who he is. And I'm telling you, the Spirit of God inside of you, God being able to a direct line of communication with you, God knowing that you don't have to sacrifice, you don't have to work, you don't have to do nothing, you don't have to do anything for his good graces, you don't have to do a single thing, but just dedicate and just say, I trust you, man. And if you trust him, watch how everything that starts working in your life just starts cruising. Because if you have the concept of you, I'm going to say it again, at least 10 times, if you have the theory inside of you of if you give to somebody and someone's going to come back and give, or should. A lot of people live by that mindset. If I give, you should give me something. If I give you a ride, you better give me a ride. If you're living by that, I'm telling you, you're not living a relaxed, calm, awesome, real nice life, because you're trying to set your own successes up. You're trying to set your own future up. You're trying to set everything up of your own. Where that person that you helped them for a reason, because they were hurting. Doesn't mean that they're going to be that person that's going to be able to give back to you. Doesn't mean that anybody out here in reality is going to be able to give back to you, other than something from some other source, from some other way, from some other situation that is going to get lined up, because you're just constantly moving forward in faith, knowing that you're doing what it is that you need to do, and not just doing what it is that you think that you need to do is best. And I'm telling you, listen to yourself. When it says yourself says to you, that's not a good idea. It came there for a reason. Listen to yourself when that self says to you, that's a really good idea. I'm telling you, run with that and push forward with that. And then later on, if you find out like, hey, you know, that's not that great of an idea, you'll figure that out later. But in most cases, we are really just dead on right with what it is that we see right up front. When we see it right away, we're usually dead on. We're right 100% confirmed in on knowing that it's good to go, knowing that I should do that. If you're looking for some new work and so a new idea just came to you just out of the flat, you're just sitting down, you just pray like, God, let me do that right there. You just come here, you just sit down, and you just like, God, I need some new work. I need some money. Things just aren't working right for me right now, and I'm just really, really struggling, and I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to make it. You know, I'm starting to get hungry. The savings is going down. The wife is yelling. The dogs are hungry. Everybody's hungry. And I might have to get rid of them because I don't know what to do, and I'm not sure where to go, and I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do this, and, you know, I just need something. You just sit there and you get quiet for a second. And all of a sudden, just thought comes to you. A thought's going to come to you. It always does. There's no way that you're going to sit there, because otherwise you'd be brain dead. If you're brain dead, you're dead. But a thought's going to come to you of like, do this. And you're going to say to yourself, no, that's not going to be it. I said I'm hungry. I said I'm not going to be able to make it. I said I'm hurting. I said I'm struggling. And that's where God's like, he's going to give it to you again, because he's patient. He's going to give it to you again. He's going to say, do that. And you're going to still say, no, how is that going to be able to help me out? And then he's going to give it to you again. You know why? Because he's crazy patient. And he's going to consistently keep giving it to you. Even though when you get up, you're like, that ain't going to work. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to keep on doing what I was doing. I'm going to go and try to beg my employer to give me some work back again. I'm going to try to force them to be able to make me work. And you're going to try to do that. And God's still going to say to you, he's going to give you that idea again. And you're going to still say, no, that's not what it is. I'm telling you, the more that you stay away from that idea, from that concept in your mind of what comes to you that says to you, go over there, call them now, go over there, do this now, send this person a message, go to this specific place and just check in and see what's going on, and just say hi. And just say, you know, hi, y'all got any work? Y'all got anything going on? Something's going to come to you that's just going to line you up for absolute success on this planet. And success not meaning that you're going to be a million, billion, quadrillionaire out there. Success meaning that you're going to be able to put yourself in a position to be able to make sure that you're going to be able to help the next person when something is in need and something is to happen. Because that thought that comes to you is already in someone else's world, where a thought could come to you that comes from me, where you're just standing there. Like, for instance, you could be standing there just hurting, like I'm not sure what's happening, and all of a sudden, out of the middle of nowhere, because I feel like this happens to me many times, people. I don't know. This is the most wildest thing to me. But I know that this happens to you, and this is a way that I really want a lot of people to start paying more and more attention to some things on this planet. That I'm just someone out there, like, for instance, last night, someone at the store down the street was hurting, was struggling, was like contemplating like robbing people and going down a dangerous route type situation to get what they needed. Someone was hurting, and I was just sitting at the house. I just got done eating. I cooked up some catfish. I was eating. I was like, man, this is real good. And I just sat down and threw a video on real quick, and I was just sitting there, and then something in me was just like, come on, Mark, let's go to the store real quick. I didn't want to go to no store. It was like 8 o'clock. I just was like, I was just ate. I'm good to go. But something in me was like, let's go to the store. Go pick up these little things that you need. You need some butter. And what else did I get? You need some cheese. That's it. You need some butter and cheese. Let's go to the store and let's go get it. Something in me was just like, and for me, I know what that something is. That's God saying, Mark, let's move. We got somewhere to go. We got somewhere to be right now. So while you is hurting and struggling and praying and asking, and a thought comes to you and it says, hey, when you see this, you ask them. And you're just like, no, that's not going to work out. That's what that guy down there was thinking. But when I was here, I got this urge like, I got to get there. So I got there. Loaded the dogs up, went down there, got there, and hooked it up. And I get out and I start walking. And then there's a guy just sitting there. He looked at me like, no, not that one. I don't know what it is about me, but I don't know what it is. People just, I don't know. I'm an interested character. And I know that, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate the way that I know that, to be able to make sure that I know how to help out people in a different way, I feel like, than you're used to being helped out. Where you ask me for some stuff and you're just like, I never thought you would have done that. I'm like, I appreciate that, man, because that's what God is. That's exactly who he is, because he does some things. He just never thought that he would do that. Like, why would you do that for me? What's going on here? But I had this urge to just get there. And that guy, he looked at me like, no, and he walked away at first. Then he came up to me and he was like, hey man, I got to say something to you. And we had to speak. And I was able to give him what it is that he needed in that moment, that I got there and it just got done. And I feel like that happens all around the world, all the time, over and over, just all the time. That just consistently keeps happening. That you get the thought, and then if you reject that thought, that's where you just, I reject God at that moment. Because then you're thinking you could do it on your own, that you got to figure it out, that you're the master plan behind this, and you're your own spirit, and you're your own person, your own being, and you can make it happen. Where God is just, he's patient, because he'll just keep pushing at you and pushing at you and pushing at you. And then it's up to us in the end to just hurt our own selves. Hurt our own selves, sabotage our own selves, destroy our own selves, and not listening to what it is that he's trying to tell us to do. Not going in the direction that it is that he's trying to tell us to be able to go to. And that's something that I feel like a lot of us really need to start paying more and more attention to, because there's things that just happen, that just happens many times. And this happens to me a lot, where I'm just sitting, and I'm telling you, I'm just sitting down, I'm just like, man, what should I do real quick? And then all of a sudden thought just comes, it's like, Mark, let's go over there. And I'm like, I don't need to go over there right now. And it's just like, just go over there. And then while I'm on my way there, I listen to something, figure out something. And then when I get there, I'm like, oh, I feel like, wow, I was supposed to be here. It wasn't actually to do anything else. It was just to do this right here. This was my whole mission, to be here. And people have done that for me. When I've been in the middle of nowhere, I've been in sticky situations before where I'm just sitting there, I don't know. And then all of a sudden someone just show up like, where the heck did you come from? Like, how'd you know I was here? How'd you know this was going on? All right, at one time in my life, my truck broke down on me at the store down there, and I just got to walking. I got to walking with, it was Oreo, and I was just walking back, and it's like, I don't know, it's only like 8 miles. It's not too far, but I was just walking, and all of a sudden, my neighbor, of all people, my neighbor shows up. He's like, hey man, I saw you walking back there. He just turns around. He's like, you need a ride back? And I was like, hey man, I sure do. And it's so weird how things like that happen. In the middle of the night, it's like 9 o'clock. I go to the store late, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It's just weird that he happened to be there while I'm walking there. And it's just, I'm just walking and thinking like, man, hey, this all right walk, but I don't have the right shoes on. I got not the right dog with me, and this is a little much right now. And it's just like, that's how life works, people. That's how things go. That it just happens. It just comes. It just becomes. You don't do something nice hoping that something nice is going to come to you. No, you just do something just to do it, just to make it happen, just to fulfill what it is that God needed to be able to fulfill in that time, in that moment. And with that said, I want to read something. I want to read something from this book right here. This thing is called the Bible, but this thing right here is called an iPhone. This iPhone is very, very fascinating because this iPhone is able to give me anything that I want on this planet in reality. It's able to really, really dial up and really, really bring my life into absolute greatness. And don't worry about the Zoom. The Zoom just keep messing up on me. But we'll figure that out one day when we get a different system to be able to do what it is that we need to do. Hey, we're all done. But today I want to read in the 1 John of the 4th chapter. And it starts at the 13th verse. And it says, this is how we know that we live in him and he in us. He has given us his spirit. And we have been seen and testify that the Father has sent his Son to be the Savior of the world. If anyone acknowledges that Jesus is the Son of God, God lives in them and they in God. And so we know and rely on the love God has for us. And that's something that to me, I don't know why, but it's just super fascinating, super awesome, it's super just amazing, and just super, just one of a kind. Just absolutely incredible. Because we don't have to worry so much. We don't have to sacrifice. We don't have to do too much of anything in reality. We just have to believe in him. And we just have to, when the thought comes to us to make that step, to make that move, to make that decision, to do what it is that we need to do, we're going to be able to, we're going to know exactly what to do in that moment. We're not going to, hey Johnny, come back over here, man. We're not going to be confused. We're not going to be delayed. We're not going to be destroyed. We're not going to be thrown off. We're not going to not know what to do. But what's that noise? But the main thing is that we really need to focus in on is doing what comes to us, because the Spirit of God is powerful. It's so powerful, but it's only as powerful as much as you are willing to listen, to be able to have the guidance of knowing how to do what it is that he wants us to do, that he's got a mission for us. And especially, I'm telling you, the more and more that you believe in him, the more and more that you stop believing in your own self being able to get some stuff done, but you allow God to be able to get some stuff done, I'm telling you, your life is going to start heading into a completely different direction than you've ever been able to experience, because you're going to have a good understanding of knowing that the things that just start to come to you and you start to just do and start to get done, the things are just going to start to be able to snowball in a fantastic, great way. Not snowball in a way of destruction, but snowball in a way of just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it's just going to stop. And it's going to be, you can be nice and big, nice and fluffy, nice and huge. And it's like, okay, that was layer 1 of the snowman. Now we're going to do another layer and another layer on top, and just keep on going from there. And that's something that God is so incredible with being able to give us the ideas that we need to do and need to pursue to be able to get done what it is that we need to get done on this planet for him. That we got some stuff that he wants to be able to do. And everything, if we look at it as just gimme for me, my own self, you're selling yourself very, very short with the true potentials of what you are as a human being on this planet, of you being a tool of God to be able to get some stuff done. Now I'm telling you, he loves you. He loves you in a way of not trying to use you and abuse you and manipulate you and mistreat you. That's not love. That's ruthlessness. That's the enemy. Love means that he's going to have you do some stuff, but I'm telling you, the stuff that you're going to be doing, you're going to enjoy. You're going to have fun with the experience along the way. You're going to have a whole lot of laughs. You're going to have a whole lot of giggles. You're going to have a whole lot of just awesome times. You're going to have a whole lot, Johnny. You're going to have a whole lot of just feel goods and awesome things come to you. You're also going to have some challenging times. You're also going to have some times where things are a little sad. You're going to have some times that things are a little challenging. You're going to have some of those times as well. But that's kind of the whole point of everything in this life, that you got to have a balance of swings of things going like that. But you don't want to have a swing of some things that are just, you are the one that are in control of the whole thing, that you are the one that is doing it all. When you have swings in that way, you head up for absolute destruction. You just are. You're not going to be able to keep up with what's going on, and you're going to start just being damaged. You're going to start being, a good word, a fantastic word is bitter. And being bitter is something that you really want to stay 100% away from, because that's something that is super destructive, and it's not just destructive to you, but it's destructive to the other people around you. And the more that you are bitter, the more that you are going to be putting the negative tones on other people around you that just really make everyone have a bad taste about everything that's going on. And I feel like that's a situation that kind of really goes on in a lot of these churches, because we have a bitter leader that just is not happy, and them not being happy and satisfied and fulfilled, they're pushing that off to everybody else, and then everybody else gets this sense of not feeling good enough and not doing good enough and not being enough, and then they're feeling like they got to do more, and that's why they keep on giving more and keep on sacrificing more of their time. They just keep donating more, and then they don't actually get anything in the end, because they start following something that is so bitter. And I'm telling you, that's not what God's all about at all. He's going to be bringing you better and better outcomes. He's not going to be giving you worse off outcomes. And especially the more that you want to start trusting in Him to be able to give you these better outcomes, the better your life is just really going to be able to upgrade, to be able to become, to be able to have. And I'm telling you, He is not here to slave you, to make your life worse off, to give you nothing. He's here to just prosper you, to be able to do more. Just because this concept that I just absolutely love. And when this man said this, I'm just like, that makes way more sense than I feel like anything else on this planet. The concept of Dr. Miles Monroe, and how he said, how are you going to be able to help people out if you broke? What are you going to be able to do for someone if you broke? God does not want you to be broke. He wants you to be in a way to be able to make sure that you can help out other people. And helping out other people in a way to be able to make sure that you're able to push them into a better position, into a better direction. Make sure that you're able to build some schools for some people so that they can actually learn some stuff. Make sure that you can actually get some supplies for the schools, and make sure that the people can keep on growing and keep on doing what it is that they need to do. Make sure that you got people that you can keep on payroll to keep on teaching these people, to make sure that they can keep on growing and keep on being better on this planet. Make sure that you're providing certain resources such as food and housing and places to live and all that, to be able to make sure that people are going. But if you broke, if you always behind on 2 bills every month, how are you going to be able to do that for anybody? What is the greatness in your life to be able to do, just to be behind every single day? That is not what God wants you to be about. That is not what He wants you to have. And the message is not just give to me so that you can have some more. No, that's not at all what you need to do. What you need to do is sit down, relax, be calm, be a little quiet, and listen to what God has for you. And what He's going to say to you is do something that you're going to say to yourself instantly, because this is just how we're programmed up front. You're programmed to instantly, nope. But you need to reprogram yourself that when that comes in, you say, okay, I'll do that. Let me get on that. Let me start researching about that topic so that I can figure out how to be able to get into that and make that happen, to be able to do that. It's just like today, talking to my barber, that I didn't know that dudes did this, but it was weird to me when I saw videos about it. But I'm super fascinated about it because it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool in just such a weird way that dudes get like wigs. I didn't know that dudes got wigs. They're called hair units, and it's something that is extremely profitable, and it's something that some guys just really want, because they just really they just need that. They just need that to feel complete for themselves. And should you do that? That's a question for God. If you do that, you do that. If you don't, you don't. But in reality, there's nothing wrong with doing that. And it's something that I just bring to Him, just saying, hey, you know anything about that? Do you do that? Because that's something that can upgrade his business. It could add another thing to his thing to be able to figure out how to make a couple $100 extra a month, or a day even at that, because some things is pretty cool. And it's a pretty interesting process, but it's something more to be able to get you going. And I guarantee you, I said that to that guy today, and that guy's probably Googling that today. Like, hey, let me look this up. Let me figure this out. Let me figure out a little bit more about that, because I already know how to do this and do that. And if I can just add this, I can make some things happen. And that's how life works. That ideas come to you, things come to you that you may not know at the time how to do. But I'm telling you, that idea and that spark and that interest and that inspiration comes to you. Hey, Oreo, that once you start researching a little bit about it, you're going to know it as if you've been doing it the whole time. You're just going to know it. You're going to know how to get it done. Where did the dog go? You're gonna know how to get it done. You're gonna know how to be able to handle it. You're gonna know everything about it instantly, really fast, without having to do years and years and years of research behind it. Where that's the power of God, because He's already like pre-programmed you with what it is that you're good with. You've got some skills inside of you that are just absolutely amazing, and He's trying to get you to push those skills out there. And the more that you start to listen to Him, and starting to push those skills out there, the more you're gonna be able to just have an absolute abundance on this planet. And then once you start to be able to get that abundance on that planet, that's when you're gonna have a person sit in your chair that's hurting, that's got one shoe on, literally one shoe on, and he got half a pair of pants on, and his shirt is a little raggedy. And he's gonna say, man, I'm struggling. And I was like, dude, you look like you just got out of jail. And he says, I did. And I'm like, man, you need some help. Where you eating? What you eating? Where you living? What you doing? And you're gonna be able to have set up, because of the abundance that came to you, because of what you did with those ideas. You're gonna look at that guy and say, hey man, we need to get you a hotel room tonight. We need to get you into the restaurant tonight. And we need to get you, I'm cutting this hair for free today. We're going to figure this out. And it really starts to set you up to be able to do some stuff like that, to be able to make sure that next person is able to have something, able to do something, able to be able to make it happen. Because if you broke, how are you going to be able to do that for someone else? How are you going to be able to make that happen for someone else? And you just giving money, hoping that you get more back, it's not going to give you a single dime on this planet. It's not going to give you a penny back. You be doing good stuff for other people, it's not going to give you a penny back. It's not going to give you nothing back at all. Zero. Zilch. You're not going to get nothing. Only way that you're getting stuff back for on this planet is by listening to the Spirit, listening to God, listening to intuition, listening to your gut feeling, listening to whatever word you want to put with it, and just start actually applying it and start doing. Stop listening to it when you get an idea of like, hey, maybe I should start mapping this and doing this, or an idea I had years ago that I should have did, that I should have pushed forward with, was when I was trying to dig deep in this marketing media stuff, was like, you should start creating menus, online menus for these restaurants that their websites look like crap. Like, my goodness, we can't even tell if you open or not. And especially like if you're selling anything, like why would I even come? Because a lot of us look at our phones first. We look at the menus, we look at the stuff, and if your menu isn't up to par looking compared to the next, you're not getting business. And I could look at that and say, hey, I noticed that the places that don't have nice websites, they got like 3 reviews. And then I'll go there purposely and eat. And I'm like, man, this place is awesome. Like, this has got some good food. And it's just, I wanted to build websites for people to have menus to be able to do that. And I should have did that, but I didn't do that. I said, no one's going to need that. No one's going to want that. No one's going to care for that. And that's something that we all have, things like that inside of us to be able to start to do and start to push out and start to get to market. We're doing something, and we're doing it. For me right now, it's dog training. It's working dogs. That I just push harder with that. When I get an idea, let me try this, let me do this. Like right now, I got a trick that I got to do with my Oreo that I got to start making him do, which is something that I think is going to be super neat. And it's just, I got to do it. I got to get it done. And it's not going to be a whole lot of work, a whole lot of this, a whole lot of that. It's just going to be something that's super instant, because I'm deciding, okay, I'm going to do what it is that I need to be doing. Instead of just saying, no, that's not going to work. No, that's stupid. No, that's going to take too long. No, I don't even know how to start with that. Don't do that. Stop doing that. Start listening to the Spirit. Start listening to God. Because I'm telling you, He's going to set you up for doing something great. He's going to set you up to be able to put you into a better place. And He's given me many of ideas and many of things that I should be doing and many of the things that I should start focusing on in this past just week in reality that I've been delaying on, I've been neglecting on, I've been not pushing forward with that. I need to start my own self pushing forward with doing that, just so that I could start, not say proving, but yes, proving more of who God is and what He is and what He's all about. Because I feel like that's who I am, standing here talking, doing what it is that I'm doing, that I am a 100% proof that God is real. Me standing here doing what I'm doing, out here, taking care of what I'm taking care of, always keeping up with what I'm keeping up with, still staying alive, still able to keep my health, still able to just get all the things that I'm able to get. I'm a 100% testament that God is 100% real, and He's here 100% real to be able to help us get in 100% real life instead of this fake fairy tale madness that's out here. A real life that's out here that you're going to be able to have and be able to obtain and be able to be a part of. And that's something that I want more and more people to be able to have a better understanding with. That me standing here, my name may be Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. I may have been born July 4th of 1986. I may have been born of a man and a woman. They were both born on this planet, that they're not of God. I mean, they're of God, but they're not God. They're not that. I wasn't no virgin birth boy. I wasn't none of that. I was born in, I forgot what city that is, in Illinois. And I was born up there, and I was living there as a little baby child, and I hung out with my mama. That I'm not some royalty. I'm not some extra. I'm not anything. I'm just a regular human being that's on this planet that has a story to tell because of how damaged I was, because of how destroyed I was. And I'm standing here able to keep doing this day to day, over and over over constantly with such mass amount of inspiration inside of me to just prove exactly who and what God is all about and what he's able to do for me even on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis of where I'm able to go and what I'm able to do. And is everything so perfect? No. Is everything so great? No. But the things that I'm looking for and the things that I'm asking for, I'm just noticing just show up. And the more that I stop trying to push it so hard myself and I start to listen to the thoughts of what it is that he's trying to tell me to do, the more I realize that things just start to happen for me and really just start to fast track for me. And it's an absolutely beautiful and it's an absolutely amazing thing. And it's something that I want more and more people to just really start to have a better experience with, because for me, before I started this, before I was here, before I was doing all this, I was broke down. I was broke down to the point of the person that I saw yesterday that was hurting. He was hurting so much that he was needing someone to just give him a smile. And there's been many times that I've been at the lake, and there's been many of the females that I see you, and you out there by yourself in the middle of the out there's, that takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage alone. But that also says what state of mind that you're in, that you're willing to be out there like that and you're exposing yourself like that. It's very dangerous and it's very risky. And it's not dangerous because you're worried someone's gonna hurt you or this and that. No, it's just dangerous for a person by themselves out there so far doing what they're doing. And I see you hurting, and all you're looking for is a smile, and that smile is enough to be able to get you to go another day. And hopefully a smile that I can give to you is something that can get you moving on a day, more and continue to keep on going forever and ever. That you just have something to be able to see. And I see that in people. And I just look at them, I just say, what's up, man? How you doing? And they're just like, man, you see me? And I'm like, yeah, you're right there. I see you. I'm looking right at you. And they're like, you see me? I'm like, yeah, man, you're right there. How's it going, man? How you doing? A lot of us just don't have that. We don't have that experience. We don't even have that. And that's something that I want to be able to be a part of, to let you know, I see you and God sees you. He sees you. You're right there. You're not just some hidden, no one, you're just behind the scenes. You're not just the extras. No, you're the main show right there. You're the main one in the middle of it. You're the it, man. You're the king and the queen. You're the creator. You're the everything out here, man. You're the boss of the bosses out here. We all see you. Maybe not them, but God sees you and I see you. And I know that you could do something absolutely incredible out here. If you want to listen to him more, I'm telling you, he's going to be able to bring that to you. And with that said, I want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you for the opportunity for me to be able to keep continuing to do this. And I want to thank you for the opportunity, God, for me to be able to wake up this morning. Thank you, God, for, I don't know why, but for some reason last week I was kind of, I don't know, but you got to get set up with more and more phone calls again. Where, like I said the other day, and one day, a video of like maybe the phone calls come in too much that I might have to get an answering service to be able to help me out, to be able to do what it is I need to do, to make sure that I stay on track with what it is I need to stay on track with. And already having that thought and already having that idea lets me know the future of where I'm about to be heading to, because I know I need to research that again and get back on track of it. So I'm very, very thankful for everything that just keeps on happening, the way that things keep on going, because it's something that's just super cool, super amazing to be able to be a part of that. When you're doing something that you just know that you should be doing, it's not going to be hard for you. It's going to be very, very simple for you. And it's going to be something that's just going to be like, I mean, crazy, super simple, where you just show up. And then you got to bring other people on board to make sure that you're just doing what it is that you're really good at. Where someone else, for me, I'm not really good at the whole phone. I'm good at phone calls. When you want to talk and chat it up and figure out some stuff. But as far as like the schedules and getting phone numbers and addresses and all that, someone else is good at that. And if you're good at that, that's what you should be doing. And then we link up so that you could do that part and I could do the other part. Then there's another part where someone else just likes to do the follow-up work, where they're just like, they know how to write out the contracts and write out the emails and do all that and send it all out. Oh, cool. I don't like doing any of that. There's someone else out there do that. That's how the world works when God is in control. When you're in control, you're scrambling, trying to figure it all out. You're always behind. You're always broke. You're always struggling. You're always behind on payroll. You just can't keep up with it. But when God's in control, he's like, hey, you're good to go. You got this over here. You got that guy over there to help you. You got this girl over here that can help you. You got this person over here to help you. And unfortunately for me, I let one person go the other day that I shouldn't have let go. That was a nice, sweet female that could help me in some way. And I don't know what yet, but in some way that I just decided, no, let me just walk away from that. That there's some things in life that we already pre-programmed to say no to that intuition, where we need to have a whole new shift of starting to say yes and starting to say, okay, I'll get on it. Okay, I'll figure it out. And with that said, I want more people to have a better understanding of knowing who God is so that you can figure out more about yourself. And I got to head on out of here because it's starting to get dark. It's starting to get dark fast, and not fast, but I had to change it up today. I sat on the phone a little bit longer than I wanted to. But I just want to say thank you, and I hope that y'all have an absolutely great, fantastic day or week and month and New Year type stuff. I think that's coming tomorrow, and yeah, everything like that. Heck yeah.